My girlfriend asked if she could bring both me and her ex to a wedding, then chose him over me and shared a hotel room with him while I stayed home. Hey, let me tell you what's been going on. I'm a 28-year-old guy, and I've been dating my girlfriend, Sophia, who's 26, for about 2.5 years now. We even moved in together into this cool 2-bedroom apartment about 8 months ago. Things have been pretty solid overall, though we've hit a few bumps recently, mostly around how we communicate and manage social plans. Sometimes Sophia makes plans without looping me in or signs us up for events I'd rather skip. Nothing huge, just the usual relationship stuff you figure out as you go along. So here's the big scoop. Sophia's best friend, Violet, is getting hitched next weekend. Sophia's been super involved in the planning for almost a year and is one of the bridesmaids. She and Violet have been tight since college, so this wedding is a massive deal for her. She's been buzzing about it non-stop, and while it's been a bit tiring hearing all the wedding talk, I've tried to be supportive because I get how important this is to her. Now, here's the tricky part. Sophia used to date this guy, Noah, back in college for about 3 years. It was pretty serious. They even lived together for a while. They broke up a few months before she and I started dating. She swears they were over long before they actually split, and they stayed friends after the breakup. This always felt a bit weird to me, but I've been trying to play it cool. Sophia says they share the same friend group from college, and cutting him off would be overly dramatic. She always points out that their breakup was mutual, and they figured they were better off as friends. I've met Noah a couple of times at parties, and he seems all right, polite and everything. But there's just something about how he and Sophia interact that throws me off. They have these inside jokes and shared stories that make me feel a bit like an outsider sometimes. A few weeks back, Sophia got her invitation to Violet's wedding. She was thrilled and called Violet straight away to gush about dresses and travel plans. The wedding's not far, just an hour away, so fortunately no cross-country flights or anything. Sophia was all excited about turning it into a whole weekend, even booking us a hotel room for the night. Then about 2 weeks ago, Sophia mentioned that she wanted me as her +1, and I was really looking forward to it. I don't know Violet that well, but she seems pretty cool. Plus, with work being crazy lately, I thought getting away for a bit might be just what we needed to reconnect. But then, last Monday, Sophia dropped a bombshell. She said she wanted both Noah and me at the wedding because we're important to her. She'd even cleared it with Violet to let her have both of us as guests. I was totally caught off guard. I asked if she really asked the bride if she could bring both her boyfriend and her ex to the wedding. She said yeah, and that Violet thought it was sweet of Sophia to want to include everyone she cared about. Her idea was that since Noah didn't have a date, this would let her spend time with both of us. She even pointed out that Noah is friends with Violet too, so it made sense for him to be there. I told her straight up that this made me uncomfortable. First off, it felt pretty inappropriate to ask a bride for such a favor. And second, I couldn't imagine being cool with tagging along with her ex as her date. It just felt off. I didn't like the thought of people at the wedding eyeing the three of us, wondering what our deal was. Sophia didn't see it like that at all. She said I was making a big deal out of nothing, and that plenty of people stay friends with exes. She even tried to reassure me that Noah's not a threat, and pointed out how we have similar hobbies and might even be friends if I gave it a shot. She said it was unfair for me to try and control her friendships, and was upset that I wasn't being more mature about the situation. I took a moment, tried to calm down, and then explained my feelings more clearly. I told her it wasn't about trying to control her. So, here's the drama. I've been having this ongoing discussion with my girlfriend, Sophia, about her friendships, and it all started when I expressed my discomfort about her bringing both me and her ex-boyfriend, Noah, to her best friend Violet's wedding. I never told her to cut ties with Noah entirely, but being her +1 alongside her ex felt like it crossed a line for me. I mean, she needed to choose between having me as her date or bringing Noah. Having both of us there felt like it put me in a really awkward spot. Well, Sophia didn't take that well. She got pretty upset and said it was unfair of me to make her choose between her boyfriend, me, and her friend, Noah. Apparently, Violet was cool with both of us being there, and Sophia mentioned that we wouldn't even be sitting together at the wedding. She explained that Violet had arranged for me to be at the couples table with other wedding party members, while Noah would be at the singles table with some of Violet's old college friends. We've been going back and forth about this issue for about a week now, and it usually comes up when Sophia gets home from work or when we're getting ready for bed. She keeps saying that I'm being insecure and unreasonable, suggesting this situation reveals some jealousy issues I need to work on. Sophia insists Noah is just a friend now and that I should trust her judgment on her relationships. But I still can't shake the feeling that it's inappropriate. And the more we talk about it, the more uneasy I get. I don't feel right being someone's +1 when their ex is also a +1. To me, it feels disrespectful to our relationship, and honestly, it's making me question if Sophia still has feelings for Noah that she might not even realize. The fact that she's fighting so hard for this instead of just understanding my discomfort and choosing me is concerning. Then, yesterday, after another round of this exhausting conversation, Sophia decided to take Noah instead of me. She said my stubbornness over the situation meant she'd just take him, and I could stay home. She felt this way she wouldn't have to deal with me being weird around Noah all night, and Noah wouldn't feel awkward because of my attitude. I told her fine, but I believed her choice said a lot about her priorities. She replied that I forced her to choose and made things more complicated than they needed to be. Sophia mentioned if I had been more open-minded, we could have all had a great time together. Now I'm second-guessing myself, wondering if I handled this all wrong. Some mutual friends think I should have just gone along with it for one night since it's so important to Sophia. The wedding is this Saturday, and Sophia left this morning to help Violet with last-minute preparations. Apparently, there's a rehearsal dinner tonight, and Sophia will be staying at Violet's place until after the wedding. Before she left, she casually mentioned that Noah was probably going to be at the rehearsal dinner too, since Violet had invited him. Since our argument, Sophia has barely spoken to me, and when she was packing her bag this morning, the vibe was very tense and cold. I keep toggling between feeling like I stood up for myself and my boundaries, and feeling like I completely ruined Sophia's experience of her best friend's wedding over my own insecurities. Am I being a jerk for refusing to go to this wedding under these circumstances? Should I have just sucked it up for one night? In one of the comments I received, someone mentioned, "You're not the jerk here. The fact that she chose her ex over you for the wedding speaks volumes about where you stand in this relationship. Normally, someone in a committed relationship wouldn't even consider asking a bride if they could bring their ex-boyfriend along with their current boyfriend as wedding guests. The fact that she actively created this situation and then chose Noah when you reasonably objected shows exactly where her priorities lie." That really resonated with me. Another comment asked for more info and wanted to know how often Sophia and Noah hang out, and if I'm usually included. I've been mulling this over a lot lately. Sophia and Noah don't hang out alone often, maybe once every couple of months for coffee or lunch, but they text regularly. Sophia always includes Noah in group activities, like if we're having a barbecue or going to a birthday party, Noah's usually invited. What bothers me is I'm not always included when it's her friend group stuff. Like, a few months back, they went to a concert, and I only found out after. Sophia said it was just her old college crew and that it'd be weird to invite me, but Noah was there. I don't get why he gets to be part of the old college crew permanently, but I don't get included in Sophia's current social life. I brought this up before, But Sophia thinks I'm overthinking it, saying Noah's friends with everyone in that group, so it's different. Honestly, if Noah and Sophia didn't have history, I doubt this wedding issue would even be a thing because she'd probably have just automatically chosen me. Another comment pointed out, your girlfriend is prioritizing her ex over you and making you feel bad about having completely normal boundaries. This isn't about trust, it's about respect, and she's showing you exactly how much she respects you and your relationship. Don't let her manipulate you into thinking you're being unreasonable. I hadn't really thought about the manipulation angle until people started pointing it out. Sophia is usually great at making me feel like I'm being irrational when we disagree. Like, she'll calmly explain why my feelings don't make sense, and I end up apologizing even when I felt I was right. Looking back, she did the same thing with this wedding issue. She made it sound like bringing both of us was a totally normal and practical solution, and that I was being dramatic for having a problem with it. She kept saying things like, I thought you were more mature than this, and I'm disappointed you don't trust me. It made me feel like a jealous, controlling boyfriend instead of someone with legitimate concerns. Even now, part of me wonders if I should just call her and say, I changed my mind, and I'll go. You know, reading through all these comments has really made me stop and think. My gut feeling was telling me this situation wasn't normal. And now I'm sure I shouldn't just go along with it just because Sophia seems to think it's no big deal. I figured I'd give an update since a lot of folks seemed really interested in what was going down, and I got a lot of great advice from everyone. So the wedding happened this past Saturday, and as you can probably guess, I didn't go. Sophia took off on Friday morning to help with setting up for the wedding and crashed at Violet's place Friday night like she'd planned all along. I tried to keep myself busy at home with Netflix that night, but honestly, I was feeling pretty down about everything. I kept hoping against hope that Sophia might hit me up with a text, telling me she'd changed her mind and wanted me to come too. But of course, that didn't happen. Saturday felt really odd. Knowing the ceremony was at 4 p.m., I couldn't help looking at the clock throughout the day, trying to picture what was going on just then. I even went for a long run to try to clear my head, but my mind kept drifting back to Sophia, picturing her as a bridesmaid with Noah there, watching her. From what Sophia posted on social media, the wedding seemed to go off without a hitch. I probably checked her Instagram stories way too much, but I was curious and, if I'm being honest, a bit self-destructive about the whole thing. She laughed and posted pics of herself and the bridesmaids getting ready, and everyone looked stunning. Sophia seemed genuinely happy. There were shots from the ceremony where you could see the entire wedding party, and later, some reception photos popped up. Seeing Noah pop up in quite a few of those pics, especially ones of him and Sophia dancing or sitting together during dinner, was like a sucker punch to the gut. It turns out the seating arrangement wasn't what Sophia initially told me it would be, and they seemed so at ease together, almost like they fit naturally in a way that really made me question everything about my relationship with Sophia. Sophia got back home Sunday evening around 6 p.m., and I'd been dreading her return all day, not knowing what her mood would be like or how our conversation would go. But when she came in, she was buzzing, practically floating with this euphoric energy. She couldn't stop talking about how gorgeous the wedding was, how flawlessly everything went, and how much fun she had catching up with old friends. I hadn't seen her so energized in months. She was swiping through her phone, showing me pictures from the weekend, and talking about how touching the ceremony was, the amazing food they had, and how late everyone stayed up, dancing the night away. Then she mentioned Noah, saying he was really funny, and that they'd had some deep conversations about life and work. She said he'd been asking about me, even seemed bummed that I wasn't there. And then, she kinda casually dropped the bomb that she and Noah shared a hotel room on Saturday night. I thought I misheard her, and asked her to repeat herself. She explained that after the reception, a bunch of the wedding party decided to stick around rather than make the 1-hour drive home. But since a local festival that weekend meant most hotels were booked up, Noah somehow snagged the last room available, and since she needed a place too, they decided to share it to save some cash. I pressed her about why she didn't just ride back with Violet and the other bridesmaids like she originally planned. She said things got pretty wild, and she didn't want to end the night early. Apparently, they all headed to a bar post-reception and didn't stumble back to the hotel until 2 a.m. I asked if there were 2 beds in the room, and she said no. There was just one queen bed, but Noah was a total gentleman and slept on the floor. I hate to admit it, but I kinda lost it. I pointed out how sharing a hotel room with her ex-boyfriend, even if he did sleep on the floor, didn't look good, and how she should have found any other way. Sophia immediately got defensive, saying I was being paranoid and controlling, insisting nothing happened. According to her, they're just friends and adults who came up with a practical solution to a logistical issue. She went on to say, if I really trusted her, this wouldn't even be an issue. I countered that trust wasn't the point. It was about respecting boundaries in our relationship. Sharing a hotel room with an ex crosses a line. She brushed that off, saying I was being dramatic, and she would have done the same thing with any other friend. I reminded her that Noah isn't just any friend. He's her ex, who she chose to bring to this wedding instead of me. She said that's a whole different issue, and I need to stop dragging it up. She's tired of my insecurities about Noah and thinks maybe I should work on my issues instead of trying to control her. Things erupted into a massive fight. Sophia kept insisting she didn't get why I couldn't just trust her, and said my jealousy was becoming a real problem. She said Noah has always been respectful and friendly towards me, and accused me of creating drama out of nowhere. I fired back that, from where I stand, she's been putting Noah above our relationship, and this hotel room stuff is just the latest example. I said a woman in a committed relationship should never be sharing a hotel room with her ex, full stop. Sophia said my thinking was old-fashioned and sexist, and she should be able to be friends with whoever she wants without me trying to control her life. We're currently not on speaking terms. Sophia stayed over at her friend Katie's place last night because she needed some space to think about whether she wants to stay in a relationship with someone who doesn't trust her. I called my brother for a fresh perspective, and he thinks I'm not losing it, that Sophia's actually gaslighting me. I'm feeling pretty confused. Is she just being controlling and paranoid, or are my concerns legit? In an update, I wanted to clear up some of the hotel logistics, because several folks were curious about that. I did some checking, and it turns out that local festival Sophia mentioned was just a small craft fair that wrapped up by 6 p.m. on Saturday. So I called up 3 hotels, and all of them said they had available rooms Saturday night. I haven't brought this up with Sophia yet, since I'm not sure if it proves anything or if I'm just reaching. And so finally, here's the last bit of this saga. The situation has come to a resolution, although not quite the one I'd hoped for. After that last post, I spent a few days really mulling everything over. I took some time off work just to process things and figure out my next move. Reading all your comments made me realize I wasn't being paranoid or controlling. Sophia's actions were genuinely inappropriate, and my concerns were totally valid. I was really upset about everything, and I ended up spending a lot of time reflecting on our whole relationship. I wondered if there were any other warning signs I had missed or just brushed off. It hit me that Sophia often makes me feel like my feelings don't matter, and I've gotten used to saying sorry for having feelings she doesn't think are justified. Sophia came home Tuesday night after staying at her friend Katie's for 2 nights. She seemed off. Not angry like I thought she'd be, but guilty. She tried to make small talk and asked if I wanted to order dinner together as if things were normal. But there was this strange vibe between us, like we were both waiting for something bad to happen. I told her we needed to have a serious talk about our relationship. I mentioned that the whole wedding and hotel room incident had made me realize we have some core issues we need to face. Sophia got defensive, hoping I wasn't going to bring up Noah again. She said she was tired of our relationship being about my insecurities with him. But I insisted we had to talk about Noah because her friendship with him was affecting us in ways we hadn't addressed. I brought up that I found out the hotels actually weren't fully booked that weekend, and I asked why she lied about it. She said she didn't technically lie, just that she assumed all hotels were booked after one said they were. When Noah offered to share his room, it seemed like the easiest choice. I told her that even if that was true, feeling okay about sharing a room with her ex showed we have different boundaries. Sophia started crying and said she didn't know how to explain things without making me mad. I told her it was too late for that. I just wanted the truth. She admitted she and Noah had been texting more, not just casually, but having long talks about their lives, relationships, and college memories. It all started a few months ago when Noah reached out after a breakup. I asked if she thought this was emotional cheating, and she said she didn't know. That's what was confusing her. Sophia said talking to Noah felt natural, like when they were together. I asked what happened in the hotel room. She said they just talked until 4 a.m. Nothing inappropriate, and that Noah slept on the floor after they cuddled on the bed for a bit. I pressed if anything else happened. She said no, but Noah admitted he still had feelings for her. She told him she was with me, but was confused about her feelings. I asked what she meant by confused. She said being with Noah at the wedding reminded her of how good they were together, and she wondered if breaking up with him was a mistake. She loves me but isn't sure if our relationship is as strong as hers was with Noah. I asked if she wanted to break up. She said she didn't know. That's why she's been acting weird, and maybe she needs time to figure things out. I told her it felt like she wanted to explore things with Noah while keeping me as a backup. She didn't deny it. At that point, I was done. I told Sophia I wasn't interested in being someone's second choice. If she needed clarity about her feelings for her ex, she could do that single. I deserve someone sure about being with me, not someone comparing me to their ex. Sophia cried harder, saying she didn't want to lose me. We could work through this together. She said 2.5 years meant a lot, and she didn't want to throw it away over confusion. But I said she was the one doing that, not me. She chose Noah when she started those chats and cuddling. Even if nothing physical happened, she was emotionally unfaithful, and the wedding weekend just made it clear. I told her I'd move out this weekend. We have a lease, so I'll lose my deposit, but I can stay with my brother while finding a new place. Sophia begged me to reconsider, offering to completely cut Noah off, change her number, block him, whatever it took. But I said it was too late. Even then, I'd know she chose him over me and was emotionally cheating without noticing. Thanks for all the support, Reddit. This has been one of the hardest things I've ever gone through, but I'm making the right choice. Time to start fresh and find someone who truly wants to be with me. Final edit. A lot of people asked if Sophia and Noah are officially together now. As of this morning, a month later, Sophia posted an Instagram story with her and Noah having coffee, captioned, "Sometimes the universe has a plan." Red heart emoji. So I think that answers that. I'm glad I trusted my gut and got out when I did. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy hearing stories like mine, don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.